Remember when you thought life would be easier by now? You did everything right, got your education, worked hard, paid your bills on time, yet somehow, at 40, 50, or older, the financial comfort you expected still isn't there. The money never seems to be enough, the bills keep coming, and there's that constant feeling that your financial situation should be better by now. You're not alone. Here's what most people don't realize: the issue usually isn't your income, and it's not just your spending either. The real problem is the small, automatic habits you've been repeating for years without even noticing. These aren't obvious mistakes, in fact, some of them look like good things. Working extra hours, helping out family, or treating yourself after a hard week all seem reasonable, even admirable. And that's what makes them so tricky. They're socially accepted habits that keep you stuck in the same place, spinning your wheels financially. In the next few minutes, I'll walk you through 10 hidden habits that could be quietly sabotaging your financial freedom. The sooner you recognize which ones are showing up in your own life, the sooner you can start changing them, and finally begin building the financial security and peace of mind you've worked so hard for and truly deserve. Habit 1 is paying yourself last, and it's one of the most common mistakes, even among people who seem financially responsible. It feels logical: you get your paycheck, pay your bills, cover essentials, and if anything is left over, you save it. But the truth is, there's almost never anything left, and that's not by accident. What's really happening is that you're putting yourself at the end of the line for your own money. Think about it: you're paying the mortgage company, utility bills, Amazon, DoorDash, Target, and only after all of them, if there's anything left, you might think about saving. By that time, the money's already gone. That's why 63% of Americans, according to Lending Club, live paycheck to paycheck, including many high earners with good education and decent habits. If you always put yourself last, you'll always end up with nothing. But here's the mindset shift that changes everything: saving whatever's left over just doesn't work. It's not about more willpower, it's about changing the order of operations. People who build wealth do things differently. They take the first portion of every paycheck, whether it's 10%, 15%, or even just 5%, and they set it aside immediately. They pay themselves first. It's automatic and non-negotiable. That money goes straight into savings, retirement, or investments before anything else gets touched. Only after that do they use what's left for bills and day-to-day expenses. Now, you might be thinking, but I need every dollar just to get by. I understand, but here's what your brain is doing without you realizing it: when money sits in your checking account, your brain sees it as available to spend. Waiting to save until the end depends too much on willpower, and willpower is no match for deep habits. So if you've been paying yourself last all these years, let me be honest, that's not being smart with money, that's actually abandoning yourself financially. Habit 2 is believing that a higher income will solve all your money problems. It sounds logical: money is tight, bills are piling up, so you think, I just need to make more. And yes, sometimes earning more is necessary. But here's the truth: making more money won't fix anything if your habits stay the same. What usually happens after a raise? People upgrade their car, move to a bigger place, eat out more, sign up for new subscriptions, or plan nicer vacations. This is called lifestyle inflation, and it's sneaky. You feel like you earned it, but by the end of the month, your bank balance often looks the same or worse. If you couldn't save on $3,000 a month, you probably won't save on $6,000 either unless your behavior changes. More income simply magnifies your existing money habits. Building real wealth isn't about how much you make, it's about how much you keep. That means setting limits on constant lifestyle upgrades and resisting the urge to show off your income through spending. Pew Research found the middle class is shrinking not because people are earning less, but because they're spending more as they earn more, often going deeper into debt. So ask yourself this: when was the last time you got a raise and actually increased your savings rate, or did you just spend more? If you're counting on your next promotion to fix everything, be careful. What you may really need isn't more income, but more direction. Habit 3 is normalizing debt as just a regular part of life. You've probably heard it before: everyone has debt, or you can't live today without credit. Hear that enough, and it starts to feel true. Credit cards become essential, car payments feel like a normal adult expense, and even buying things you can't afford gets brushed off with, "At least I enjoyed it." But here's the real danger: it's not just having debt, it's getting comfortable with it. Some debt, like a low-interest mortgage used wisely, can be strategic. But most debt today is for stuff we didn't truly need and had no clear plan to repay. That's a problem. In 2024, U.S. credit card debt hit $1.1 trillion, with average interest rates over 22%. That means for every $1,000 you owe, you're paying more than $220 a year just in interest, often for things that no longer hold value. The scary part is that debt isn't just about money, it's about your time. Every dollar you owe is time you've already sold to the past. Meanwhile, banks profit off your need for instant gratification. The longer you accept debt as normal, the longer you stay stuck, always reacting, always trying to catch up. You shuffle balances, delay real progress, and hope someday things will get better, but that day never comes without a change in behavior. The practical truth: if you can't pay cash, you can't afford it. Small payments, reward points, none of that matters if you're stuck paying interest on things you no longer use. Compound interest can build wealth, but it can also destroy it when it works against you. And the most common reason people fall into debt: they're not even tracking where their money is going. Habit 4 is not knowing where your money goes. Ask most people how much they spent last month on food, transport, entertainment, or banking fees, and you'll likely get a vague guess, maybe around $500, but no clear answer. This lack of awareness is one of the main reasons people stay stuck financially, even with a steady income. It's not because they don't care, it's because tracking money feels uncomfortable. Looking at bank statements or past spending forces you to face mistakes or excesses you'd rather ignore. So, most people avoid it, relying on mental math or just checking their account balance occasionally. But here's the issue: money you don't track ends up controlling you. It's like trying to lose weight without checking the scale or counting calories. You're operating in the dark. In that darkness, you often overspend, especially on small things that seem harmless. A Bankrate study found the average American spends over $3,000 a year on impulse buys, things like coffee, takeout, online deals, and app purchases. These small habits silently drain money that could be used to pay off debt, build savings, or invest. And the worst part? When you don't track spending, you lose control and feel constantly stressed about money, working hard but never getting ahead. Tracking isn't a burden, it's power. When you know what comes in and goes out, you make better choices, cut back without pain, and stop blaming bad luck or low income. You begin spending based on your real priorities. Over time, it gets easier to say no to what doesn't matter, because you understand the real cost. And with that clarity, you might also realize you've been spending just to keep up with others, not because it fits your values or goals. Habit 5 is spending money to appear successful. This is one of the biggest traps that can keep you from true financial freedom. Many people don't spend because they can, they spend because they feel they have to. They want to show they're doing well, keep up with friends, prove their hard work has paid off, and look successful to family, co-workers, or on social media. The problem is, this kind of spending doesn't always feel wrong. You're not being reckless, you're just enjoying life, right? But if you're driving a car you can't afford, eating out too often on credit, or taking trips using installment plans, the real reason might be status, not joy. And the painful truth is, you may be sacrificing your future just to impress people who won't be there when you need help. Worse, many of those same people are also in debt trying to keep up appearances. This is called the status game, and it never ends. The moment you reach one level, it changes: the car gets old, the house seems small, the vacation isn't fancy enough. You're stuck chasing an image. Studies show over half of millennials overspend because of social media, but this mindset affects people in every age group, especially those who connect success with what they own. But here's the truth: you can either look rich or be rich, rarely both. Real wealth is quiet. It's savings, investments, and the freedom to sleep peacefully without worrying about bills. It doesn't show up on Instagram. If you want financial freedom, you need to let go of the image and focus on what truly matters to you. It's not about impressing others, it's about building a life you can actually afford. Habit 6 depends on only one source of income, and while it may seem safe, it's actually one of the most dangerous financial habits. Many people reach their 40s or 50s with a steady job, a good salary, and some benefits, and they feel secure because everything seems to be working, the bills are paid, the lifestyle is comfortable, and the paycheck arrives on time. But here's the hidden danger: they've built their entire financial life on a single foundation. If that one income stream disappears due to a layoff, company downsizing, health problems, or an unexpected crisis in their industry, the entire structure can collapse. Suddenly, everything that felt stable, your home, your savings, your peace of mind, is at risk. That's why truly financially secure people think differently. They understand that real safety doesn't come from a single paycheck, no matter how large. It comes from having multiple sources of income that can keep flowing even if one stops. A CNBC report showed that 65% of millionaires have at least 3 income streams. This could be rental income, investments, online businesses, royalties, consulting work, or anything else that doesn't rely completely on daily effort. It's not about working yourself to exhaustion or juggling 5 jobs, it's about building systems that make money for you, even while you sleep. The more your income depends solely on your time and energy, the more vulnerable you are, because time is limited and energy fades. Most people think creating multiple income streams is only for entrepreneurs or the wealthy, but that's not true. Anyone can start. You could turn your expertise into a paid online course, rent out a property or even a room, create a blog or YouTube channel about something you love, or begin investing small amounts to generate future dividends. The key is to start while your main income still covers your needs. Waiting until you're in a financial crisis makes it 10 times harder. Building secondary income isn't about greed, it's about protection. It gives you choices. And in today's unpredictable world, having options is one of the most powerful forms of financial freedom. Habit 7 is paying more taxes than necessary, and it quietly drains more of your money over a lifetime than housing or food. Most people just accept taxes as a fact of life. They work, taxes are taken from their paycheck, and they move on. But here's what many don't realize: the wealthy don't pay less because they cheat, they pay less because they learn how the tax system works. They take advantage of legal tools like retirement accounts, 401k, Roth IRA, real estate investments, starting businesses, using health savings accounts, HSAs, and making smart inheritance plans. These strategies aren't just for the rich, regular people can use them too, but most don't, simply because no one teaches them. Millions miss out on tax breaks they qualify for, like deductions for medical expenses, donations, education costs, or home office use. It's not about cheating the system, it's about using the rules to your advantage. Paying extra taxes out of guilt or ignorance doesn't help your future, it just leaves you with less money to invest, save, or support your family. The truth is, the government won't remind you of these benefits, it's your job to find and use them. Habit 8 is waiting for the perfect time to invest, and it's something many people fall into without realizing the cost. It often sounds like, once I pay this off, I'll start, or things are tight now, but next year I'll be ready. These intentions are good, but the truth is, the perfect moment never really arrives. There's always another expense, another priority, another delay. The biggest difference in building long-term wealth isn't how much you invest, but when you start. Time is the most powerful force in investing because it allows compound interest to grow your money with little effort. For example, if one person starts investing $200 a month at age 40 for 25 years, and another starts at 50 for just 15 years, the one who started earlier ends up with more than double the amount, even though both stop at age 65. The extra 10 years make all the difference. But many people still let their money sit in low-interest savings or checking accounts, where inflation slowly eats away its value. Others can't even save because they're still stuck in old habits like spending to impress others or not tracking their expenses. What's important to know is that you don't have to be an expert to begin. Most people think they need to know everything before they invest, but the truth is, just getting started with something simple, like an S&P 500 index fund with low fees and automatic contributions, can already put you ahead of most. And if you feel like you're late to the game, remember the best time to start was years ago, but the second best time is right now. Delaying might feel smart, like you're being cautious, but in reality, it's just a polished form of procrastination, and it's expensive. And if your reason for putting it off is because you're tired or overwhelmed and feel like you just can't deal with one more thing, then the next habit is especially for you. Habit 9 is believing that hard work alone is enough to succeed, and this might be the most respected yet dangerous habit on the list. From a young age, many of us are taught that the way to success is simple: study hard, work hard, be honest, and eventually, you will be rewarded. For a long time, this worked. Our parents, grandparents, and even some of our generation built better lives through steady effort. But today, the world has changed. Hard work by itself is not enough because the economy rewards those who work smart and strategically. The big problem is if your income depends entirely on your effort, it has a limit. You can try to make more money with overtime, promotions, or side jobs, but your time, health, and energy are limited, and eventually, you hit a ceiling. In contrast, people who build true wealth learn to create income that doesn't rely only on their time. They invest in assets that grow, create systems that earn money even when they're not working, share their knowledge through courses or books, buy rental properties or dividend stocks for passive income, or build businesses that run without them always being involved. The mistake isn't working hard, it's thinking that's all you need. This belief can trap you in a cycle where you work harder and harder just to support a lifestyle that never frees you but keeps you busy. This trap is sneaky because it looks like a good thing, you feel you're doing the right thing, but really, you're trading your energy for spending without building lasting wealth. A Gallup study found that over half of Americans feel exhausted by work, yet many still can't save or invest regularly. The problem isn't a lack of effort, it's a lack of leverage. Sadly, many smart, hardworking people spend their lives running in place. Working hard is honorable, but it's not the same as working smart. To build real financial freedom, you need to stop thinking like someone who just survives on effort and start acting like someone who builds with vision and strategy. And speaking of vision, there's one last habit that connects all of this: the habit of delaying, avoiding, or ignoring these lessons because you think there's still plenty of time. Habit 10 is postponing important financial decisions because you believe there's still plenty of time. This habit is sneaky and very dangerous because it doesn't cause immediate problems like missed payments or extra fees, it just keeps you stuck while time keeps moving. Many people reach their 40s or 50s thinking they'll get serious about money when things calm down, when they earn more, or when the kids grow up. But the truth is, the perfect time never comes. There's always some new challenge, bill, or emergency that feels like a reason to wait a little longer. Before you know it, years have passed and nothing has changed, or worse, your situation has gotten harder. This habit hides behind the idea of being cautious or responsible, but in reality, you're giving up the one resource you can never get back: time. Time is the most important factor in growing your wealth. The sooner you take even small steps, the bigger the impact over time. Waiting only makes things harder. As the saying goes, you might not choose to be poor, but if you don't choose to improve, time will decide for you. The good news is, you don't need a big plan or perfect answers to start. Just begin with something simple today: look over your expenses, cancel a subscription you don't use, open an investment account, read about retirement options, or save your first $50. Any action is better than none because most people stay stuck not because they lack chances but because they don't take action. Now, the choice is yours. If you found this video useful, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to not miss our future uploads. See you in the next video.